our own Christy Paul. But first, let's get out to our Ted Rollins. He's live outside the courthouse in Kingman, Kansas. Ted, not a bell, not smoke, but a buzzer. And that's how we'll know if we get a verdict. Didn't mean to scare you there. Just wanted to wake you up.
Absolutely. The buzzer system, and I've covered these before. Actually, when the buzzer does go off, it scares the hell out of you because you're in that courtroom and you're sitting there waiting for hours, and then, here we go. So they have a buzzer system. There's two buzzes for a question and then one long buzz for a verdict. We haven't heard anything yet this morning. They've been at it about 2.5 hours.
Well, let's go over here real quickly the charges that he's facing, right? I mean, murder in the first degree, aggravated arson, and 2 counts of aggravated endangering a child because of, obviously, the 2 kids that were in the room. You know, a lot of people have been wondering on Twitter and Facebook, and I need to get this out there, where are the kids and how are they?
They are with family. They're with Vashti's family, and apparently they're good. They haven't been here. They were interviewed by police right after the incident, but what they said didn't help the case, so they didn't want to put the kids through it. They did not testify at all during the trial, so we're told from family that they are well taken care of, but we haven't seen them or heard anything from them in this trial.
Okay, so we just went over the charges. Do they have a choice of any lesser charges, or is this it, what's on the table?
They have to decide on each one of these 4 charges that are on the table. So you have first-degree murder, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison with parole eligibility after 50 years. They call it a hard 50 here in Kansas. That would make CCAT 85 years old when he's eligible for parole if he's convicted of that, and the judge gives him the maximum. And then you have the other 3 charges, as you mentioned, the aggravated arson, and then the 2 child endangerment charges. And the child endangerment ones are a little tricky because it really was never told to this jury where the children specifically were during this in either one of the accounts. I think if they're going to go guilty, they'll probably go guilty on all 4, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yesterday we talked about the autopsy and a lot of holes, Trinity, between what was being said and what was evidence. How would you defend Brett CCAT?
Well, in looking at everything, normally as a defense attorney, I can usually find a way to defend somebody. This is a really, really tough one.
Why? What makes it so tough?
I think looking at the timeline of events, looking at some of the strange behavior, which I think you could try to explain some of it away in terms of she had just filed for divorce, and some of the things like destroying cell phones, destroying computers, I think that you can try to think that, well, maybe it was related to the divorce. But some of the other timeline of how things have went on, some of the behavior, it's hard for me as a defense attorney, and I do some domestic work as well, to think that she would have filed for divorce and then committed suicide. And to kind of reconcile those things seems a little bit odd. And also as a mom, I just think it's hard to think that you would, if killing yourself was an option, or if that's what you thought you were going to do, I don't know that you would do it and endanger your children.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that yesterday. All right, well, as soon as we get word of that buzzer going off, our Ted Rollins is on buzzer patrol. We're going to take it live to the courtroom for the verdict. In the meantime, you can head over to HLNTV.com/